In the silent corridors of history, luxury has always been the ultimate language of power, a shimmering whisper that separates the masters of the world from the masses who serve them. It is the gold thread woven through the tapestry of human ambition, a restless spirit that has migrated from the heavy velvet curtains of Versailles to the sleek, weightless interfaces of the digital elite. Today, we stand at the precipice of a new era where the definition of opulence is being rewritten by the hands of a new breed of architect. We are moving beyond the physical weight of diamonds and marble into a realm where time, privacy, and the very fabric of reality are the new currencies of the gods. To understand where we are going, we must first look back at the origins of this obsession, to the moment when luxury was not just a lifestyle, but a divine right. To look upon the history of wealth is to look upon the history of humanity's desire to transcend the ordinary, to build monuments that outlast the flesh, and to surround oneself with the physical manifestation of an iron will. 1. The gilded mandate of the Sun Kings. Long before the birth of the stock market or the digital empire, luxury was a static, immovable monument to the divine authority of the few. In the era of the Sun King, Louis XIV, the world of the ultra-wealthy was a theatrical performance of absolute dominance. Every morning at Versailles was a choreographed ritual, where the act of dressing a monarch was treated with the same gravity as a religious mass. Here, luxury was heavy, tactile, and intentionally overwhelming. It was expressed through miles of silk, mirrors that reflected the light of 1,000 candles, and gardens that forced nature itself to submit to the geometric will of a man. To live in luxury during this epoch was to live in a gilded cage of etiquette and tradition, where wealth was measured by the sheer volume of land you owned and the number of lives that bowed at your feet. It was a world of permanence, where a family crest was worth more than any sum of gold, and the pursuit of beauty was a weapon used to maintain the social order. The air in these halls was thick with the scent of amber and expensive powders, a sensory shield against the harsh realities of the world outside the palace gates, creating a vacuum where only perfection was permitted to exist. 2. The Industrial Renaissance and the birth of the brand. As the steam engine began to roar, and the old aristocracies felt the first tremors of the Industrial Revolution, the soul of luxury underwent its first great transformation. The iron and soot of the 19th century gave birth to a new class of titan, men who built empires not on bloodlines, but on steel, oil, and commerce. This was the era when the concept of the luxury brand was forged in the workshops of Paris and London. Craftsmen like Louis Vuitton and Thierry Hermes began to see that the new elite needed more than just possessions. They needed tools for a world that was suddenly in motion. Luxury became portable, defined by the perfect curve of a leather trunk or the precise ticking of a handmade watch. It was no longer just about sitting on a throne. It was about the grace with which one moved through a rapidly shrinking world. The status symbol shifted from the immovable castle to the exquisite object, an emblem of taste that whispered of success in the boardrooms of the new world. This period marked the democratization of quality for the merchant princes, where the artisan signature became the new seal of nobility, and the world's most prestigious labels began their ascent into the stratosphere of cultural iconography. 3. The golden age of Hollywood and the glamour of the screen. With the arrival of the silver screen, luxury entered its most seductive and public phase, transitioning from the private estates of the industrialists to the glowing imaginations of the global public. This was the mid-20th century, a time when glamour became the new gold standard. To be wealthy was to embody a certain cinematic elegance, characterized by the roar of a Ferrari engine on the Italian Riviera, and the crystalline clinking of glasses on a private yacht in Monaco. Luxury was no longer just about the objects themselves, but the lifestyle they suggested, a life of perpetual sunshine, effortless sophistication, and a total absence of the mundane. The icons of this era, from Grace Kelly to Aristotle Onassis, taught the world that true luxury was a form of art, a way of existing that was curated to the finest detail. It was during these decades that the great fashion houses became the cathedrals of the modern age, and the pursuit of the good life became the ultimate secular religion. This was an age of high-contrast living, where the flash of a paparazzi bulb was as much a part of the luxury experience as the silk lining of a dinner jacket, turning the lives of the wealthy into a global, spectator sport of aspiration and envy. 4. The digital displacement and the rise of the invisible elite. As we cross the threshold into the 21st century, the heavy weight of traditional luxury began to evaporate into the ether of the digital age. The new titans of Silicon Valley brought with them a philosophy that fundamentally clashed with the ostentation of the past. For the tech billionaire, luxury is not found in the shine of a gold watch, but in the seamlessness of an algorithm. We have entered the era of quiet luxury, where the most expensive items in the room are the ones that don't scream for attention. The modern billionaire values the invisible, the speed of a fiber optic connection, the security of an encrypted life, and the ability to disappear into a private island sanctuary at a moment's notice. The aesthetic has shifted from the Baroque to the minimalist, where a grey t-shirt made of the world's finest vicuna will cost more than a designer suit. This is the luxury of intelligence, a world where power is felt through influence and access, rather than the size of one's jewelry box. It is a subtle, almost monastic approach to wealth, where the complexity is hidden beneath a surface of radical simplicity, and the true mark of status is knowing exactly what everyone else does not. 5. The sovereign state of the modern nomad. Today, the ultimate expression of wealth has evolved into the pursuit of total sovereignty over one's own existence. In a world that is increasingly crowded, noisy, and transparent, the rarest commodities are silence, space, and time. The tech elite are no longer content with buying property. They are buying ecosystems. They invest in longevity clinics to outrun death, space programs to colonize the stars, and private intelligence networks to ensure their families remain untouched by the volatility of the modern world. Luxury has become a form of biological and digital fortification. It is the freedom to live outside the boundaries of any single nation, to be a ghost in the machine who owns everything but is tied to nothing. We are seeing a return to the isolation of the Sun King, but instead of walls of stone, the modern elite are protected by walls of data and the vast, cold reaches of the upper atmosphere. This new class of sovereign individuals treats the globe as a playground without borders, utilizing private aviation and deep sea exploration to carve out realms of experience that exist far beyond the reach of the common map. 6. The final frontier of the human experience. As we look toward the future, the evolution of luxury suggests a move toward the experimental and the transcendent. We are moving beyond the physical world entirely, as the ultra-wealthy begin to invest in the luxury of the mind and the spirit, whether it is through the immersive depths of the metaverse or the literal exploration of the deep ocean and outer space. The next stage of opulence is about the acquisition of memories and sensations that are inaccessible to the rest of humanity. The billionaire of tomorrow will not measure their success by the cars in their garage, but by the uniqueness of their perspective and the depth of their legacy. We have traveled from the crown of the king to the code of the billionaire, but the heart of luxury remains the same. It is the eternal quest to transcend the human condition and touch the divine. It is the pursuit of the impossible, the crafting of a life so refined that it becomes a masterpiece in its own right, a legacy of excellence that echoes through the ages long after the gold has dimmed and the servers have gone dark. As the landscape of wealth continues to shift beneath our feet, one thing remains certain: the hunger for the exceptional will never fade. From the marble halls of history to the silicon frontiers of tomorrow, we are all observers of this grand evolution, watching as the definition of the best is constantly reinvented. Here at Pro Lecture, we remain your dedicated curators of this hidden world, bringing you the stories behind the most exquisite lives ever lived. If you found this journey through the history of opulence enlightening, we invite you to like this video and subscribe to our channel to join our community of connoisseurs. Your support allows us to continue exploring the pinnacle of human achievement and the beauty of the high-end lifestyle. Thanks for watching. In our next feature, We will dive deep into the world's most secretive private islands, exploring the ultimate sanctuaries of the modern elite. We look forward to seeing you there.